We're here with Rosemary Low, international parrot conservationist, HARI.CA Foundation member, director, given a lot of money to parrot conservation projects around the world. You must have been really honored to receive the award from Wolfgang Kiesling for the work that you've done around the world for parrots.
Yes, that was the Gorilla Award that I received at the convention last year. It was indeed an honour and a privilege because I've been associated with Loro Park for such a long time, since the 1980s when I was curator there, and of course since then with the foundation of the founding of the foundation, which has done tremendous work in the 20 years that it has been in existence. $20 million to conservation of parrots and cetaceans. So I'm really proud to be associated with the park and with the foundation and to receive that incredible award.
Fantastic. You are on a special trip here with Steve from Parrots Up Close. We're having the opportunity to visit many species of parrots in the last week and coming days. And how important is it for you to see them once again in the wild, as you've done many times?
It's so important. Actually, it has been getting more difficult for me to travel overseas, simply because I have birds, and the person who cares for them when I'm away can't do it for as long as he used to. So when this trip came up, I thought it's one that I've absolutely got to do, even though it's only part of the full tour. It's a part that is very attractive to me because I love the Pantanal and the ease of seeing the parrots in the wild. It's just a tremendous thrill for me, and it's actually the fourth trip to Brazil I've been on with Steve because I enjoy these journeys so much. But this year has been really special because there's one species that I especially wanted to see. You know, I'm a great lover of the Pihura conures, and on one other occasion when I was with Steve, we had fleeting glimpses. But this time, thanks to the hard work of Steve and his guide, we were able to get long, close looks at them and to photograph them. And so that was the highlight of the trip for me. I know other people will think it's the hyacinths I want to see.
Yeah, the highlight for me was the hyacinths, of course. And
that's the most spectacular, but sometimes it's, for me anyway, it's not always the most spectacular. That is the most important.
So was it nice to see the success of the landowners working together with the Azul group, the Hyacinth Conservation Project? The presentation that we had the other night from that group. Yes, and was that? I mean, we should be happy that it's going better.
Yeah, of course. Well, I've watched the progress of that project over the past 20 years, and how Neiva Guedes started it up with nothing. I mean, she is such an incredible person, and without her input, where would the hyacinth macaw be now? Because the most important population is in the Pantanal, and they had nowhere to breed. And thanks to her and her team putting up nest boxes, the population in the Pantanal has grown enormously.
Right. They had put up 90 nest boxes in the greater area, and the relationship with the landowners, I think, is a great win-win situation for ecotourism and to see the parrots.
And it's not only the hyacinth, even a species that we think of as very common, the blue-fronted or turquoise-fronted Amazon. I mean, elsewhere it's in big trouble because of the numbers of chicks. Thousands every year are stolen illegally in Brazil out of nests. And what happens to those young ones? They rear them, and then they are rehabilitated on ranches. And ranches are, in effect, protected areas. So that's
a domestic trade within Brazil that's occurring?
It is, yes.
Yeah. So you have some upcoming reference books. Again, you've published so many books and have helped parrot lovers around the world with lots of projects. What is your latest project that you're working on?
My next book, which will be published hopefully early next year, is Parrot Conservation, and that covers conservation all around the world, but really the emphasis is on the neotropics, because that's where most of the projects are, and where there's more information. There are a lot of good projects in Brazil, unlike, unfortunately, most countries. And then currently I'm working on a book which I call Parrots, a celebration of their beauty, because a lot has many books have been written about different aspects of parrots, and yet there's nothing that emphasises the most obvious thing about parrots. That's their beauty, the beauty of their plumage. It's just incredible.
Well,
So
seeing them flying around, you really appreciate their beauty. When you get to see their wing colors, that Paruna that you were interested in, when I actually saw it fly, I took back the fact that I said that it was just a little green parrot because of all the colors that we saw.
yeah, well,
And that's a prime example of what you're saying, is when you see their full plumage, when you see their full coloration, there's a lot of colors underneath that you might not see
exactly.
in an aviary.
And right, and I don't think you really know parrots unless you know them in the wild, because it's then that you see the natural behaviour, especially the beauty in flight. You know, even little birds like the Pirhura parakeet, they are tremendously skillful in flight. You can never see that in an aviary. So yes, I want to write about different aspects of their plumage and their beauty, and which species.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing those books, and it's under our website, under your name, Rosemary. How do we see where we can buy those books?
Well, currently you can't buy them because
They're not published yet,
no,
but yeah.
But my website with details of all my books
All your distributors where you can get them.
my website
Yeah.
is www.rosemarylow.co.uk.
Co.co.uk.
Yeah, and that's a low without an E. So there's a lot of information about my books that have been published in the past, and articles on parrots as well.
Right. Well, we look forward to seeing you again at the Laurel Park conference
Of course.
coming up.
Coming up
I
in
always enjoyed your
22.
company and your conversations, and thank you so much for the conversation today here, and safe travels back home to the UK.
Thank you,
All the
Mark.
best to you.
A pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you. It's Rosemary Low here in the Pentatal. Mark Hagen saying, it's been a pleasure. Thanks.